Hello students, today we'll be starting with the syllabus of subject that is application development using Python. The course code is 18CS55 and we'll be starting with the module 1 that is Python basics. So for this subject you have to use the textbook Automate the Boring Stuff with Python by AI Swigert. Okay, that is the first edition. This textbook is available online. You have to just go through this site and you have to download the textbook. Okay, that is it will be having chapters 1 to 18. Then later on we'll be having the remaining topics in the second textbook. So the textbook looks like this after downloading. Automate the Boring Stuff with Python, Practical Programming for Total Beginners by A.L. Swigert. So we'll be starting with the first module, that is Python basics. Introduction of Python is being given. We'll start with the first topic here, entering expressions into the interactive shell. Okay, so I'll open up Thonny here. I'm using Thonny software. So what do you see this log here? This log is known as an interactive shell. Okay, so where you will see this closing angle brackets, this log is known as an interactive shell. Okay, and if this you close it, okay, if you close that interactive shell mode, then you can go to view and then you can click on shell. So you are back to your interactive shell. You can put some commands and some instructions directly in this mode, interactive mode. The programs can be written in this log where you have to save, run and execute, but here you have to write the instructions directly and you will get the output. So this part is known as interactive shell or the interactive mode. So initially they are making use of the interactive shell. Okay, so a window with the triple angle brackets, closing angle brackets, prompt should appear. Okay, that's the interactive shell. So they are saying that this closing prompt is known as the interactive shell, and they are saying us to enter 2 plus 2 at the prompt to have Python do simple math. If you press 2 plus 2 directly, it should give the value 4. Okay, let us check. 2 plus 2, okay, it will give the value 4. Okay, 2 into 4, okay, directly it is giving the value. This is known as the interactive shell. Okay, in Python 2 plus 2 is called as an expression. So this thing what is there, it is known as an expression, and we know what is an expression. Expression usually consists of values and it will be having operators in them. Okay, so when you evaluate such expressions, it will come down to a single value. Okay, in Python 2 plus 2 is called as an expression, which is the most basic kind of programming instruction in the language. The expression consists of value such as 2 and operators such as plus. Here 2 and 2 is the value and plus is an operator, and they can always evaluate down to a single value. So after evaluating this, it always has to evaluate to a single value. Okay, a single value with no operator is also considered as an expression, though it evaluates only to itself. So a single value when you put, that is also known as an expression. Only thing is that it will evaluate to itself because there is no operator and there is no another value to get connected with it. So immediately it will give the output as it is. Okay, so here we can check. If you give here 2, it will give itself. It will not show an error or anything like that. Okay, so next what they are saying is errors are okay. Errors are okay means you can make errors in that interactive shell and you need not bother that your computer will break down. You can check or trial and error many programs here without thinking about what will happen to the computer or what will happen to the software. For example, if I write here 2 plus, okay, and if I don't give any one more value, then it will show an invalid syntax. Okay, that is after plus there is no value, so it will show an invalid syntax. So making errors is allowed in Python. You can try and you can try many programs in this Python interactive shell. Okay, there are plenty of other operators you can use in Python expression too. Okay, previously in the example we made use of plus, so there are some other mathematical operators you can make use of. Here there is a table, and in this table math operators from highest to lowest precedence is being given. Okay, so the operator which is used and for what it is used, which operation, its example and its value is been given here. So we can see here double asterisk is there. Double asterisk is used for exponent, that is what we say raised to. Okay, raised to the power of something like that. Then 2 raised to 3 is nothing but 8, so double asterisk is used for exponent. Then we use here percentage. Percentage is used for modular, modulus, or for remainder. That means after division what will be the remainder. Okay, so 22 divided by 8. Okay, so 8 2s are 16 and the remainder will be 6. So it will give the remainder here. Which one? Percentage. We'll call it usually modulus or for remainder. This double slash which is there, it is used for integer division. That means if you divide a number with some another number, it will not give the answer in float value. It will round it, it will be considered only the decimal part, the whole part which is there, that only will be considered. The decimal part value which will be there, that will not be considered. Only the integer value will be considered. Float, that means you should not, it will not give any floating value. After the point whatever value will be there, that will be cut off. So double slash is used for integer division. Single slash is used for normal division, where you divide it, where you divide 22 divided by 8, you get in float value. This the numbers both here it is same. Here it will give it in float value. If you are using double slash, it will give you in integer value, that is in whole number. Then the next which is there, it is asterisk, which is used for multiplication. Then 3 into 5 15, minus subtraction 5 minus 2 3, then plus addition. Plus is used for addition. So let us try out these examples. Okay, I have put these examples here. Okay, let me take the shell a little bit cover. Okay, so first example is for exponent 2 into 3. Okay, it will give us 8. Then we'll use the modulus operator, that is for remainder, 22 mod 8. Okay, this will give us 6. Yes, then next we'll use double slash, which is used for integer division. 22 sorry, not into here, 22 double slash 8. Okay, it will give us 2. Okay, it will only consider the integer part. Then we'll take the division, single slash 22 divided by 8, it will give us 2.75. Then we have multiplication, 3 into 5 will give us 15. 5 minus 2, it will give us 3, and addition 2 plus 2, it will give us 4. Okay, so these examples have been solved. This example we have solved it, and these are the different math operators that you can use in Python. Okay, so the order of operations, also called precedence, of Python math operators is similar to that of mathematics. That means the highest, when you are using an expression with multiple operators, that means asterisk also is there, exponent also is there, modulus also is there, then the highest priority or the preference should be given to whom? The first priority should be given to exponent. Okay, then the next priorities will be given to asterisk, slash, double slash, and percentage. Okay, that means here it is given the order of operations, also called precedence, of Python math operators is similar to that of mathematics. The double asterisk operator is evaluated first, and the asterisk, slash, double slash, and percentage operators are evaluated next. That means the next preference is given to these 4. Okay, that is multiplication, division, integer division, remainder. If they are all together in an expression, then you have to evaluate that expression from left to right. That means if all the expressions are there, that means using asterisk, slash, double slash is there, then you have to evaluate that expression from left to right. Okay, because these four are given the same preference. Okay, then next preference is given to plus and minus, and if you all are using plus and minus in the same expression, then you have to evaluate it from left to right. Here they have given it, and the plus and minus operators are evaluated last, also from left to right. Okay, you can use parenthesis to override the usual precedence if you need to. If you want some expression with the lowest precedence to be evaluated first, then you have to make use of parenthesis, because parenthesis will have more precedence than these operators. There are some examples here, we'll check out. 2 plus 3 into 6 is there, 2 plus 3. So first you have to evaluate multiplication, because multiplication is having more precedence than the plus operator. So 3 into 6 is 18. 18 plus 2 will give you 20. Okay, but if you want this expression to be evaluated first, that is 2 plus 3 you want to evaluate first, then you have to put that expression in parenthesis. If you're putting that expression in parenthesis, then that expression will be evaluated first. That is 2 plus 3 is equals to 5. 5 into 6 will give you 30. Okay, so this is the multiplication of larger number, and this is exponent. Okay, 2 raised to 8 will give you 256. Then this is division, 23 divided by 7 will give you this value, and this is an example for integer division. Double slash is an example for integer division. That means it will take only the integer part, and after the decimal part which is there, that will be not considered. So it will take only 3. Then 23 mod 7 is there. Okay, that is 23 divided by 7. 7 3s is 21, and remainder will be 2. So modulus is used for remainder. Here 2 plus 2 with extra space is been given. It will not give an error. It will calculate that also. 2 plus 2 will be 4. Here you can see there is an expression here. Okay, and 5 minus 1 is there. Parenthesis is being used everywhere here. So when parenthesis is being used, too many parentheses are being used, we will evaluate it from left to right. Okay, this is a nested expression, 7 plus 3 divided by 3 minus 1. This entire expression is put in parenthesis. So all the expressions are having parenthesis here, so we will evaluate this expression from left to right. That means first it will be 5 minus 1, 4 into, first we'll calculate this expression, that is from left to right. 7 plus 1 is 8. Then we'll evaluate this expression, 3 minus 1, 2. Then this divided by this, that is 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 will be 4. 4.0 something like that, division, because it will give you all in float. Then 5 minus 1 was 4. 4 into 4 will give you 16.0. Okay, that is, it is being evaluated here. First 5 minus 1 is 4. Then you come to this expression. Okay, then in that from left to right you evaluate. 7 plus 1 is 8. First you evaluate this. Then the next expression to be evaluated will be this, 3 minus 1, 2. Then later on you have to evaluate this and this value, 8 divided by 2. As it is an normal division, it will give the result in float, so it will give you 4.0. Integer into float value, float is having a highest precedence than integer, then obviously the value will be coming in terms of float. Okay, so this was all about the mathematical operators used and its precedence, as to who will be having the highest preference if they are used all together in an expression. So first preference to exponent, then to all this multiplication, division, and later all it is given expression to priority to addition and subtraction. And if you want some expressions to evaluate it first, then you put them in parenthesis. Okay, then next what they are saying is these rules for putting operators and values together to form expressions are a fundamental part of Python as a programming language, just like the grammar rules that help us to communicate. That means the expression which has to be put, they have to follow some rules. Okay, how to put the operators, where you have to put the values. Okay, same as the rules we follow when we are speaking English. So to have a proper English, you have to have a proper grammar. That is, some example is here. This is a grammatically correct English sentence. Second phrase which is there, this grammatically is sentence not English correct A. Although this is English, this is written in English language, but it is not following the grammar rules. Same way they are saying that if you want to write the program in Python, you have to follow the rules. Normal basic rules you'll have to follow. That means how to write the expression, it should have values, where you have to put the operator. Okay, so the second line is difficult to parse because it doesn't follow the rules of English. The second phrase does not follow the rules of English. Similarly, if you type in a bad Python instruction, Python won't be able to understand it and it will display a syntax error message. Okay, as shown here. For example, 5 plus is there. You have given one value, you have given one operator, but after this operator there has to be one more value. Okay, if you don't give that value, then it is known as an error. For example, I'll write it here, 5 plus. Okay, so obviously it will give an error, syntax error, invalid syntax, because after plus you have to put some value. Okay, so if you don't know how to write expressions, then obviously it will result into syntax errors. Then next which is there is 42 plus 5 plus into 2. So you are using here two operators together. So two operators together cannot be evaluated without putting any value between them. So it will give an invalid syntax. Okay, so you have to follow the rules of writing proper instructions, otherwise you have to result into syntax error. The next topic we are discussing is the integer, floating point and the string data types. What they've written is, remember that expressions are just values combined with operators and they always evaluate down to a single value. A data type is a category for values and every value belongs to exactly one data type. That means they are saying that expressions usually are made up of values and operators, values such as 2, 3, 4 and operators such as plus, minus, asterisk, division, and when you evaluate them they will come down to a single value. But when you all are making use of values, those values belong to some category and that category is known as a data type. Okay, the most common data types in Python are listed in this table, that is the common data types. Okay, so the common data types used in Python is integers. Integers means it will be whole numbers, the values that are whole numbers, and it will not have any decimal part. And whole numbers you can use positive as well as negative numbers, positive, 0 as well as negative numbers in terms of integers. The second common data type is floating point numbers, where you'll have numbers with decimal point, and here also you can have minus values also as well as positive values also. Okay, and the third data type they are making use of is strings. Strings are nothing but some text values that also they are enclosed in single quote. Okay, Python programs can also have text values called as strings and they have to be enclosed in single quotes. If you're not enclosing them in single quote, then they will result into an error. Okay, for example, let me open up the Thonny software. I'll put here single quote, hello world. Okay, close the single quote, enter. So you'll get the string back. This is allowed, and if you press the upper arrow you'll come back to the same text which you have entered previously. Okay, so upper arrow I have used. If I remove the closing single quote, then it will result into an error. And what is the error here? End of line while scanning string literal. Okay, so the same error is being mentioned here, syntax error. What is the syntax error? End of line while scanning the string error. So make sure that whenever you all are using text values, those text values come under the data type strings and they have to be enclosed in single quotes.